DP Biology IA draft for anonymous student J. You know who you are. Looking at this, it's a good start. Position up an evenly sloped hill. Okay, position, distance maybe. Where and when, what are we talking about? Now, when I look at this, are you indenting or are you adding lines between paragraphs? Figure out what you're doing. You're doing that or this. Be consistent with current standards. A little bit of second language stuff in places. So, get someone to have a look through this, make sure it's right. I'm not sure that's the best word choice there. We use MLA at the school here. MLA does not have any years in the citations. I'm not going to point it out again, but that's something to fix to be consistent with our system. Now, you look at flowers. Again, why do you count flowers? You really need this in your background information. You could have caught whole plants. Why did you count flowers? Because that really is crux to what you did. You're talking about species tolerance here. Are you talking about too warm, too cold, too dry, too wet? Does this need to be developed more? I believe so. This could certainly be reworded a bit. I don't object to it, but I think it needs rewording. Again, research question, blah, da, 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 in where and when. Come on, just put this here from 0 to I don't know what meters. Make sure, I don't know what that number is, it's really clear to your readers, because I'm uncertain of that. How many decimal places is the starter in? Figure it out, be consistent. Why? Okay, you can get to a 2, tell me what's happening. You want to get beyond that. Why did you choose these? Was this because you like 3s? Was it the total distance divided into 10? Why did you choose those distances? That's really what you want if you're trying to get to the next grade up in the mark band. And again, somewhere you've got to say why flowers. We mentioned that earlier. Why did you do this? It could be back in your background information. What's this about? Now, if this is your first table, double check. Yes. So is this a table? Maybe not. This is certainly a table. So this will be table 1. Da 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 da. Some good title that helps us. Equipment. Come on, this word is waffle. What are you really talking about here? Boom. I think that's what you're talking about. Make sure people know that. I'm sorry, I was here the day you did this. You took considerably longer than that. For a start, you started in the morning. And I'd look at this and go, so what? Oh, new flowers grow. Give us a reason this matters. A standardized sampling technique. This sounds like you don't know what it was, so you just put some pretty words in there. Add some details, please. Okay, coming down to equipment list. So this is now going to be table 2. You got your quadrat, you got the size, you got your unit. Moisture meter. Come on, there was a model. You make sure we got details so someone can copy it. Now, this is a problem we see over and over and over again. Tables should not be split over 2 pages. Come back up to here and click Control and Enter or Command Enter on a Mac, and it'll pop it to a new page, holding your whole table together on one page. Okay, tell us something about this thing. Image, model, make, we don't know. So there's your table 2. So you've done your method as a table, fine by me. Table 3, method, da 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 da. Looking at this, again, why did you do this? Why? We talked about it on the last page, but tell us why. And sure, an accurate measure. No, was it something about half the slope, more of the slope? Make sure it's clear. When I look here, I'm not sure if these numbers contradict or not. Make sure they don't. Come on, half a step on each page. Make sure you join these together. They can't have half a step on a page. I really think you might want to reword this to be clearer. I don't get it. You could make a lot of things a lot shorter. Have a look through it. I think you can do this in a number of places. An area? The area. Come on, English. Where was this? Was it nearest the center? Was this in a corner? Let us know, but be consistent. I know you were when you did it. coming down to 12 along each of you've got two measures here, so I'd probably make sure you tell them which one. You had a line like this and a line like this. Which one did you use for the random numbers? You know and I know, but your readers don't. So make sure that you make it really clear which one it was. Now hold on, there's a couple more steps you probably really want to have here. What about recording observations? You actually have some about areas you avoided. I would make sure they're clearly written down as qualitative observations. Do you actually mention you move up to the next tape 3 meters up and continue, or did you forget? People need to do that or your experiment will fall down. This becomes table 4. Probably something about don't drop it on your feet away. Sunblock. What about all the nasties that were here? I believe you had nettles, ivy. There could have been processionary caterpillars. There were definitely ticks. Maybe you need to mention some of that stuff here to make sure you've covered all the stuff that you needed to. Now it says table 1, but I believe it's table 5. Now, why do you need to say raw data here and up here? You're just repeating yourself. Make sure you format your species right. Distance on, hold on, is this along, is this up? Make sure this is worded to be clear. Did this thing have a unit? They will always drop from a distance, so I'm not sure this is a drop distance. Make it clearer so we know what it really means. I do like this consistent decimal places through here, and in this case, if you have to go over a page, I would suggest take the top piece here, copy paste, split the table, and put it down here, table 5A, or whatever you want to call it, 5 continued, and then have that stuff here, so when someone gets this page, they know what the numbers are. And the same here again, table 5 continued, add those headers in, so that people who get to this page look at it and go, oh, I actually know what this is. Something else I've picked up here, you've got a lot of space above and below every single number. I'm not sure this table needs to go on 4 pages. You could get rid of that space, you could shrink the font a little bit and have it much shorter, but still easily readable. Here we go, your qualitative observations. I like it. If we go back to this, you used 10 sites, but 10 sites should balance this out. The next one here, point out this was before the experiment started, so that's more clear. I believe this here meant you avoided it, so make sure that's really clear. Now we're up to our next table, which I don't remember now, but I believe might be 6. You'll be able to fix that. Oop, that's better. Again, it's a split table. We can't have that. Good to see uncertainties here, but again, needs to all be on 1 page, especially given the size of it. Now, something here I don't like. You won't like it once you notice it either. And that is your uncertainties to 1 decimal place, but the numbers are to 2. They don't match. They need to match. So that's for you to fix. That should match that data. This should match this data. They're badly drawn arrows. So that it all fits together and tells a coherent story. Here we go. We've got a graph. Okay, I like it. No trend line, so no one's going to go, you forgot. Number of flowers per quadrat. You could probably put the size in here or here, so we know what we're talking about here. Did you go along a hill? I'm not sure you did go along a hill. Again, get the species formatted right. And finally, I would suggest that after all of this data, you've got means and standard deviations. I do not see any standard deviations. Add error bars. Remember, doing it in Google Sheets gives you all the same size. So do it in the right package so your error bars are all correct and we can see them. Then we'll really see the overlap through here, which will give you more to talk about along with your test. Now, where did this test come from? I know and you know, but I would suggest park this to your appendices and write some in your own words. that you did this statistical test and name it, using this website and name it, and here is the result. See Appendix A for more details. Now, we've got some error bars on this graph. That's good. You've told us where it came from, but link it. Make that a wee bit clearer even yet, or cite it. So it's in your work cited, so that it's easy for other people to find. Now, while you're using these, I'd suggest don't just park this in here. It's like it's someone else's work. Put it in appendix and put it in your own words so that it's just more coherent, looks like your work. And again, I think we come down here. Should there be error bars? I think there should. Put it in the appendix, put it here in your own words. It's great that we finally got a trend that was significant. Well, you did. Analysis. Okay, drop in the statistics to reinforce this. They're not there yet, and they are the bit that is the evidence. I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, but I think it needs a bit of work. It's non-linear dependence on... Look at rewording that. It needs some stuff to be done. Hold on. Tell us about the test you did. Spearman's, I believe it was. So make sure you're talking about that. Add more to that. Beef it up. Yeah, there's a few little bits to fix up here. Have a read over it. There's a few words that need to be changed or modified to be clearer. Now, again, think about your conclusion. Overall, was there a trend? Start with that. Don't tell me there's this flowers here and those flowers here, and then there's no trend. You're almost contradicting yourself. Start off with the big picture, and then the statistic that backs it up, and then you'll suddenly look at the next bit and go, hold on, I can't be saying the numbers changed. Statistics said they didn't. I really do look at all of this and go, do we need all of this? There's a lot of bits here that could be shortened. Again, you're still talking about a cross, and you didn't know. This is not the purpose of your research question, which is the thing we should be referring to as much as we can. Okay, you're talking about abiotic here. Did you also talk about biotic? We're now up to table, I just don't know what. Let's call this table 7. I might be wrong. You'll fix that. And I would suggest, if you're putting it like this, you need to make a couple of changes. To get the 5, 6, you need to show some way of showing us the relative importance. Whether you put them in order and say it in the title, whether you have sentences under here that say these were the most important that really affected the results, these didn't really but should be improved, etc. That's great. Again, Control Enter, Command Enter, start on a new page. That would be great. Control Enter or whatever. You guys must have a funny alphabet where you come from. Where I come from, Z is last, so I would have it at the bottom. Beyond this, it's actually looking pretty good. I like to see the access dates. It shows me, it gives us something to follow if we need to.